Okay, let's get into some commandments. Okay, this is Exodus 20. I'm going to start at the top. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Most High thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And to clowns that trying to say that there's, out of the house of bondage, like there was a place, like an area in Egypt called the house of bondage, like it's a club or something. Stop it. You err. Egypt is the house of bondage, man. But verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Okay. Matter of fact, let me go down to 6. I'm at 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I the Most High thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. And what I always love to bring out, well, actually, I mean, it's another scripture, but 1 John 5:3, that's the love of the Most High, which is keeping the commandments. And 1 John, that's after Paul. Okay, so and as we see in the commandments, loving the Most High is keeping the commandments. So obviously, what is hate? Doing the opposite of keeping the commandments. All right, it's not a emotion, or I love God. That's not. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what you Christians and most, Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that's all you be saying is, I love God and this and that, but you're okay with homosexuals, you're okay with the wickedness of America, you know what I'm saying? You condemn men of the Lord, and you hold hand with the wicked, and but that's an abomination. But back to verse 3 though, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So during Christmas, which goes all back to Nimrod, just the various American holidays, that basically always have something to do, like Easter as well, having to do with Ashereth, and that that's in the scriptures of a god that we worship. But like Baal, worshiping the gods of Egypt, brothers still doing the Ra, and giving praises to Ra and stuff like that, and talking about just a bunch of madness. Okay, but for those that say that the laws are done away with, and I see why y'all say, because y'all worshiping, you're doing all whatever you want. So the law is done away with, and you guys are worshiping other gods. So I mean, because y'all, first of all, you don't keep the right Sabbath, and you don't treat the Sabbath as it's supposed to be anyway. So that's another cut. So obviously y'all ain't worshiping the Most High in spirit and in truth, and y'all worshiping other gods. Okay, but I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy now, kind of like back that up. Deuteronomy 5. Just to kind of piggyback on that. I'm gonna start at 5 and 6. Start at 6. I am the Most High thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I am the Most High thy power, and am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. Okay, so I mean that's basically the same as in Exodus, but for it to be spoken of twice, it's a serious thing. So, okay, I'm gonna go to chapter 4. I'm gonna start at 5. Okay, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High, my power, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it, which is Israel. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Okay, so understanding these law, statutes, and commandments is wisdom and understanding, not having a bunch of degrees. That's not wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Matter of fact, let me back that up real quick. Let me go to Job. Get that. Job 28 and 28. Okay. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Most High, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. Okay. So us being keeping these commandments among the nations, the heathen, we would be known as a wise and understanding people. Okay. And we're not in that situation right now. Everyone, for us to be being called niggas and monkeys and spicks and, just, at the bottom as people thinking that we haven't done anything, but everything's going to be changed around soon. So from there, I'm going to drop down to verse 16. Alright, lest ye corrupt yourselves. Matter of fact, I'll start at 14. Alright, I'll drop down to 14. And the Most High commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Most High spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female. Okay, so making all these type of statues and things like that, is going on. Okay, and the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth, unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which thy power, the Most High thy power, hath divided unto all the nations under the whole heaven. Okay, and I got for the next, basically like volume 2. I'm gonna go into that, because the heathens, they knew about the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but they chose to worship, the stars and the moon and the sun and all that. Okay, but that's just a clear cut, and being into the zodiac and all that madness, so, and just like I said, like God, all these gods like Ra, Allah, all of them, sun god, moon god, I'm forgetting the Babylonian, like the Samaritan or the Sumerian, religion. Basically, all these gods from these nations are all the same. They all got a sun god, moon god, you know, and just like 10, 20 different gods, and it's all the same. Yeah, like I said, sun god, moon god, somebody of the earth or something like that. So I'm gonna drop down to